Alrighty. Good morning, everyone. My name is Gianna Williams. I'm an outreach specialist for the city of Dallas. As employees, my colleagues and I work on many different environmental topics each day, making strides to help preserve Dallas's natural resources and to encourage everyone to practice beneficial environmental behaviors. Our Earth Day Everyday program is the result of the combined efforts of the Central Library and the Office of Environmental Quality and Sustainability. It aims to highlight the many ways we can care for the planet throughout the year. This long-standing partnership between OEQS and the library has produced many informational programs that educate people on relevant environmental topics and how everything is connected. We are excited to bring you this informative program on how to take care of your pets in the winter. Although Dallas winters are short and varied, they do still happen. And when they happen, it's important for those of us who are pet owners to know what to do to take care of our beloved animals. We are happy to have representatives from Dallas Animal Services here with us today. These skillful staff members have an abundance of animal care knowledge and experience and have taken time to provide resources to Dallas residents to keep pets safe and families happy, especially when the temperatures start to drop and the winds pick up. Please join us in welcoming Officer Williams and Officer King, who focus on community care and engagement. Without further ado.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I am Officer Williams, and I'm supervisor for community outreach, community cats, and also the HEART team that focus on homeless response for animal services and everything. So today we do have a presentation. Let's make sure I got that one working too. All right. So we do have a presentation for the cold weather and also pet laws and weather safety. So we're going to go through these. First thing you're going to see is one of our flyers. So this is Your Pet, Your Responsibility flyer. We do have it in both English and Spanish. So we're going to go through basically majority of these, just a brief overview of those. And with the other one, we also have a flyer, and all these flyers will be on our website at bdallas90.org. So the cold weather will be on there, and also the hot weather. So even if you are in an apartment complex, that's a pretty good. Those are two pretty good flyers to have for the hot and cold weather, and also your pet, your responsibility. So the next one, so confinement and leash laws. So this is one of the big things that we do have issues with it comes to our calls. Basically, what is confined? What is a confined animal, or what is a confined pet? A confined pet is either in a fenced-in area. It has to be over 150 square feet or over. It has to be on a leash. It cannot have just public access or anything of that sort. Cats, when we get into cats, that's kind of an iffy role, but technically, if somebody's having issues with your cat, they're still considered loose, and you could get a loose animal, citation for that way. And as always, indoor cats are more safe than outdoor cats because they have more predators outside, and they may be able to get a hold of them really quick. And as far as tethering, if you are tying your animal up, you have to be outside every second with that animal. Exactly every second. If you went in the house for a minute, knock at your door, we saw it out there for 1 minute by itself, tethered, anything could happen. So the proper way of confining an animal that's not tethered will be a trolley system. And if you look up a trolley system, it's basically like an old clothesline, and you would add that to, it's like a clothesline, and then it has a lead attached to it. It basically stops the animal from kind of, probably going around its neck or going around its leg or something of that sort, and choking itself or, harming itself. So reporting any animal concerns as far as, just like we just stated, the tethering, the improper confinement, if there's holes in the fence where they can get through. Regular loose dogs, we're reporting that through 311. Those are the sweet, innocent dogs that, we're not going to walk up to them though, but we're just going to, okay, they're not aggressive. They're not trying to attack anyone or anything of that sort. So we're just going to call 311. Dangerous dog involving unprovoked attacks. That'd be with DAS investigations. Then it goes into aggressive dogs as well. So with those two dangerous dogs, you will call, if it's happening at that moment, call DPD 911 and call, and you can also call 311, and they'll get that over to make that the priority that it needs to be. So animal bites, it's mandatory that you do report that to 311. It's imperative because we have to make sure that animal has its rabies shot. We have to make sure that it has to go through a quarantine period, right? In the proper quarantine period. Mandatory. And then for emergencies, if something's actively happening, make sure you call 911. Animal cruelty, 311 goes to 311. If it's just like a regular report for a welfare check, a sick injured animal that's not being cared for, just anything that can kind of have that's not really time sensitive, but the time sensitive ones where you're actively seeing probably animal abuse, animal actively dying due to the care of it, you will call 911. And also, if you're a witness to it, it's best to either stick around or put those in the notes where you want to remain anonymous, so you can give them detailed account of the issue that occurred. And with the pet ownership laws, these are for the pet limits is 6 pets to a single family home and 4 pets to an apartment. That does kind of waiver when Chapter 7, when you have a certain amount of acreage and things of that sort. And also when it's the apartment complex, they are allowed to be more strict on your pet limit. So if they only want you to have 1 dog, if it's in their contract, that's up to them. So basically selling up animals, raffling off, offering them as prizes. Again, that's a thing that's against our ordinance. We cannot do that. We do have one thing where you can have a breeder's license, but if you fall into any of the violations or get a citation for your animal, you will not be eligible to basically file that animal as a breeder or have a breeder permit issued out to that animal. And all animals in Dallas has to be compliant. That is microchipping, rabies vaccinations, spay neuters, and that's when they're over 6 months. So if you have any animal that's over 6 months, it has to be in compliance. That's basically the ordinance. All right. And with this one, this is a big thing that we have in the winter and also the summer. Most of the time, we only pay attention to animals in the car during the summer because we know that temperatures rise and, it might be 90 degrees outside, but it's probably 110, 120 degrees in our cars. And even with the windows cracked, it's still not alleviating that heat. It also is a big problem in the winter because cars get very cold, like a refrigerator, because we have these old school cars as well, or some of these cars that just doesn't have that good insulation, and it even gets colder on the inside. So after 5 minutes, if that car is unattended, we need to be notified 311, and that's a very important thing as well. So that could be a citable offense as well. And when transporting your animals in the back of truck beds, we do not allow that, only if they are secured inside of a carrier that is secured to the truck. So that makes it more safe, so they won't jump out, end up, loose or, tangled in the leash or anything of that sort. So before we get into cold weather safety, I just want to take a pause and just to see if anybody had any questions, comments, or concerns about the things that we have previously went over. Yes.
So I once saw somebody who had a dog loose in the back of their truck, and they were missing the yes. So it was just like open.
Wow.
And so is that something that would you recommend getting a picture, the license,
Yep.
Because we were it was on the road, so I don't know.
Right. If you see in that instant, you can take a picture. That has a license plate. They may be able to look it up, especially if it gets over to DPD. They'll be able to further investigate that. And if we find during the investigation, the location of them, make contact with them, and we can be able to, cite them either with a violation notice or a violation or a citation of that sort to get that corrected. Because that is a big danger, right? All you have to do is just hop out. Yeah. That's all you have to do.
Or if he slammed on his brakes while he was driving, that dog was gonna go flying.
Right through it. Yeah. And that's why it's important to all of our Chapter 7 laws. These is just a briefing even in the paper on the paperwork flyer of the ordinance, that still is a brief definition of the ordinance, just like loose animal. We on our ticket book it says stray animal, loose stray, 7-3.1A, but it has a whole paragraph explaining exactly what a loose animal is. You know, so if you're kind of confused about some of the ordinance, it's good. Again, B90 bdallas90.org, and we have all of Chapter 7 on there, and we have the in-depth definitions of Chapter 7 of each one of them. So if you do not know, you'll be able to get that understanding before placing a call, because we do have a lot of calls, even when it comes to these weather calls. That's why before we get here, I wanted to get that out the way, because with these weather calls, they do, especially when we have inclement weather. When we have inclement weather that's freezing, we might not have no priority calls throughout that day. But as soon as that weather go under, those are critical calls. And it may be 20 of them that just pop on there in 20 minutes. And now we have 20 calls and throughout the whole city. So basically it's imperative to know exactly what we're looking for when we do these weather calls, when to call, when to be kind of wary about a neighboring animal or your animal as well, because a lot of us, we get new animals and we don't have that complete understanding on the proper care when it's inclement weather. So one of them is, like, again, freezing temperatures will cause them to have hypothermia and could cause them to have other issues as well. The riskier pets are the small breeds, the older short coated breeds, and also the puppies. So we want to try to keep them in the house or in a very good isolated shelter. When it comes to the shelters outdoors, they are considered, it has to have a roof with 4 sides and an opening, and it has to be appropriate for their height and their weight. So if we sometimes, when it comes to shelter, we see people turn sheds into dog houses. Those are acceptable, but you still have to add a drop floor to it and kind of make it smaller for your dog, because that bigger area, now that dog has to warm up and regulate all of that area just to try to stay warm. So it's just like, if it's for their body, they're regulating that within that space. And also adding straw is some good good bedding, and that's even if it's directly on the ground, it's good to make sure you replace it just to make sure it's not wet and when it gets too cold, because that may even make it worse when it gets wet and cold. And having proper water, and make sure we're feeding our animals on a regular basis when it does get cold, so they can have that nourishment. The do's and don'ts. Do bring pets indoors if you can. That's the best thing possible. Create an area for them. If they're usually outdoor animals, you can easily create a kennel pen area for them to make sure they are warm. Because 9 times out of 10, if you're very uncomfortable outside, they're starting to feel uncomfortable as well. So it's best to bring them in. But if you can't always keep them on the inside, limit the exposure to outside, and understanding those vital signs of cold stress in your animals. Again, do not leave your pets in vehicles, and space heaters are a big thing as well. Space heaters, they will easily catch the animal or the enclosure on fire, like some of the sheds and everything, if they're not graded for that. You have some heaters that are, but we say if it's not regular heating, then no. Outdoor animals. I don't think it went through that. Yeah. So before I get to this, I'm gonna speak about the outdoor animals. The outdoor animals, igloos are good, shelter, but shelter is the most important thing, especially when it's cold. So if the wind is usually blowing this way, it's good to keep that door away from the wind, so it can cut out that cold as well. Warning signs in your animal. If you do see your animal or a next door animal, or even just a straight animal, the warning signs you can look for cold stress It's shivering, stiffness, pale gums, and being lethargic. With this, you do have to act immediately. Bring them inside, bring them to a warm area. What you don't want to do is drastically change their temperature. Give it like putting like hot water, not boiling water, but hot water on them just to try to warm them back up because it may send them into shock as well. And immediate, if the symptoms does not get any better, vet. They have a lot of 24-hour vets. They have a lot of payment plans as well. We do have brochures over there for low cost and organizations that do help with the cost of medical for pets. And that's what we're getting to next. Resources and support. So we do have low cost vaccines that organizations that do have vaccines, spay neuter, microchipping. They do medical, like the SPCA, Spay Neuter Network. There are just a few partners that we have. We do have a lot of them. And basically, using 311 with animal concerns is a big thing. A lot of people don't know that they can just call us, and even if you think it's something, we'll come out there just to make sure it's handled. Make sure it's not really nothing big or anything of that sort. So if you see any animals that's having issues, you see any loose aggressive animals out there, even if they're owned, let us know. You can put those in either on the app as well, the Dallas 311 app. They have it online on the website as well, or just by calling 311. You can do most of our things anonymous. Most of them are anonymous, so you do not have to share your name or any of your information, your contact information, or anything. So it will go in and as anonymous, or you can put that information so we can contact you when we get to the call and notate that you want to remain anonymous because even though we can't even share the caller's information with any of the calls. Okay? And like I said, all the information that I did speak about is on our good website, bdallas90.org. So if you are looking for more information, looking for our resources, we have brochures physically here. But even all the brochures that we have here is on this website. So if you're needing any type of resources or want to set up low cost spay neuter vaccines, or knowing of any of the events that is happening with Dallas Animal Services, you can get that on there. We also have a free adoptable pets. They are also compliant. Every pet that leaves Dallas Animal Services will be compliant, spayed, neutered, microchipped, and vaccinated. All right. I think that's the end of it. Yep. So basically, what we went over today was responsible ownership and basically keeping them safe, and the importance of keeping your animals safe for the winter as well, because we always want to keep our animals and we want to keep them safe and comfortable. So we can open up the floor to any questions or discussions, possibly things that you've seen or things that you need a better understanding of.
Can we talk a little bit more about like the community cats, like you were?
Of course. Oh yeah. So we do have Miss King. She's our officer for she's community cats, and she can speak on the things you can do for the community cats more for the wintertime. All right. How you doing here?
All right. So I'm Officer King with Dallas Animal Services. Y'all just met my supervisor, Mr. Williams. What you can do for your community cats, I know they have isolated like cat houses, but you can also make them too out of like plastic bins, styrofoam. You can paint them, make them cute. Put blankets, straw, anything in them. But please always check up under the hoods of your vehicles. Please, because they like to hide up under there. And when you go to start them and you're wondering, why doesn't my car start? It's a whole cat. It's a whole cat. So please check your hoods. And then you can feed them as well. Just be responsible with it. Don't feed on anybody else's property or anything, and make sure you're feeding an appropriate amount and not these big piles of it. Because you're also attracting raccoons, coyotes, and whatever else. And we need to stay separate from the wildlife. We do not need to be domesticating wildlife. But if you have any more questions, you can go ahead and ask them.
was it for the community cats? Because that's something that I was concerned about.
Oh yeah, we
So
we get a bunch about community cats, but it's winter time. Most of the time, they find their own spaces, but just please check up under the hoods of your vehicles.
not before you drive.
Yeah, yeah, not
Before you drive.
Do you guys ever deal with like a cat that doesn't want to leave? Like, how would you handle that? Like, if you do find that there's a cat up under the hood, or like, and you're like, can you get out? And it's like, no.
I can.
I don't know how to honestly answer that question.
I can answer that. So field services, what they do when it is that incident that occurs, we come out. We do come out, but we'll try to impound the animal and secure the animal. If it's a healthy and we know it's a stray cat, not something we let it go, especially if it has a nip here. But if it's stuck in there, we cannot go any further. We can't take anything apart. We can't move anything slightly to the side because we might end up breaking something.
Right.
So then that's where we can partner up with a fire department. They might have some extra tools that they'll be able to utilize, or we can ask them to contact a mechanic, and if the mechanic needs our assistance, we can come back out there and assist them with that. But 9 times out of 10, like she said, knock before you drive, knock on that hood of one good time that'll make them, okay, oh, he back. Let me go. You know, he's back, let me go. And if that does occur, I mean, if an animal does get injured, when you after that occurs, we will be there. Call that in. That is considered a critical, and at that point, we will do everything possible to extract that animal. So,
Thank you.
You're welcome.
and how could they get in touch with Community Cats if they needed assistance for the winter?
Call 311, or you can reach out to, what's our email? We got 2 emails, don't we?
The main one
It's DAS Field Outreach at dallas.gov. Okay. And then we also have a community cat email. It's communitycats@dallas.gov too. I think that's the right one because we also have 2.
Yeah, that's it.
But them are the ways to reach us. But if it's like critical, like you were saying, just call 311 and they'll send somebody out.
And when in doubt, call 311 because they'll know.
Exactly.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
All right.
Okay. So, and one thing I do want to add is we do have we already, kind of went over what community cats do, but with being the supervisor of community outreach, the thing that we offer on top of the resources that we have partnered with, we also offer, like, if you do need help or if you do need assistance, that we have that email. So if you know somebody, a neighbor or something like that need immediate help, we'll be able to assist them and getting them connected to the either correct person, or if we have those items to assist them as well, because we know, especially when it's times like this, it's kind of hard and they may need that extra help. So that's what we're here for. We're here to bridge the gap between animal services and actually field work. We come to your house, we'll assist you. We've done countless of walks. I think this year we've already touched over 2,000 houses, going door to door. Probably 4 or 5 neighborhoods so far. Earlier this year, we had a free microchipping event over there in Love Field, Growler Park area. They had a great turnout, and basically, when we do those door to doors, we have, and you can request those as well. Through the email. When we do those door to doors, we're asking, what issues do y'all have in this neighborhood? If it's loose dogs, if it's community cats, we can get you the resources and we can create a game plan for your neighborhood to basically for better ownership or for better animal management, right? So that's where we fall into, so everybody can't just always go to the shelter or can't travel or anything of that sort. So we try to bridge that gap in between those type of services, so that person can keep their animal, because a lot of times a lot of us, just like me, I see my dog Chico as my son. That's my baby, so I got to take care of him, right? So I would do anything to keep him, and if I was a resident, I would love the simple fact of being able to communicate with animal services to get more information on how I could be a better owner and a better parent to my animal and to my baby. So even if it's other questions about neighborhood, bylaws or policies, procedures, just give us an email. Shoot us an email. All we can do is just answer the question. We'll give you all the documentation. We'll copy and paste the chapter 7 that pertains to your issue, so you can better address it. We also offer volunteer work for shelter, field, and also field. A lot of people don't know that you can do a ride along with a field officer. Yes. Yep. You can.
What do they do?
So yeah, what do we do? What do we do?
As a volunteer, because obviously.
Oh, with field again, we have the outreach program, we have the community cast program, we have for we have a lot of what are they called, sub departments that field could actually use. With us, we've had volunteers go on our walks with us, and they see exactly what we do. And 9 times out of 10, they already have their volunteer shirt, and they see us hit a couple houses. After that, oh, they want, oh, can I hit a house too? Can I hit a house next? I'm like, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, and I'll just stand there and just make sure everything is being said, and they love it. They love because they basically, and it may be a community that they actually live in. So it's basically giving back to their own community and getting a better understanding of the needs for that community. Because at the end of the day, we can't do the same thing for a neighborhood in Pleasant Grove and Oak Cliff, because they might be having 2 different issues. So it has to be tailored for that neighborhood.
Yeah.
So the best way of doing that is actually getting the neighborhood involved.
So you did say neighborhood, but how about these homeless people that run around with their dogs?
Right.
If I have like a hamburger or something in the car, I want to give them a hamburger, but or a bottle of water. So when it was really hot, that's why I left a whole bunch of bottles of water in the truck, because these homeless, they have these little dogs and they'll have them like on a rope, and I know everybody has seen that.
Okay.
Y'all do something for them?
Yes, ma'am. We actually do. We actually have a heart team as homeless response team, and they basically, or housing response team. I'm sorry. So they deal with the
homeless.
Yes, and we also as outreach as well. So we have our brochure up there that we'll give to you with our email. So if there is an encampment or something that you see this at, or a certain person that you see that needs that assistance, all you have to do is just send us that email, send us the address, and send us a description. Because what we do have these packets that we're creating, and these care packages that we create. It comes with a good collar, a good leash, some food, some a water bowl, a collapsible water bowl, and the ones that we're doing for wintertime, it does come with a blanket.
Oh, that's nice.
Right. So we do have care packages for them, because we like I said, we understand, and 9 times out of 10 they tend to take care of their animals better than they take care of themselves. Yes. Their animals usually eat before they do.
That's what I was seeing too, but I was just kind of worried because I exit off on Riverfront, and there's a Sonic there, and if I see someone with a dog, I'll go through the Sonic drive-through, buy a couple of hamburgers, the cheapy ones, and then I have a bottle of water always in the car, and just give them a bottle of water and the hamburger for the doggy, and I'll buy 2, really cheap little burgers, and they'll wind up giving them both to the dog.
Yep.
They do. They wind up giving them both to the dog,
yeah.
Which is okay to me because the dog has eaten. I just feel really bad because sometimes we have them on a road, and
with that, right,
and stay in a tail,
right, and that's the thing. They try to confine them as much as possible. That's why we do have these care packages, because if we're stocked with our vans stocked and everything with these care packages, as soon as we see them, we could just hurry up and hop out. I've done this before I got on this team. I already had care packages.
One time on the street when we were doing stormwater with David and we
this year.
Yeah, at the beginning of the year, you were in a white van.
I think so.
Is that what you run?
Sometimes.
Yeah, because we go all over the city in our van to do the rec centers.
Okay.
Yeah.
You probably did see me, but yeah. So that's one.
Something about kittens.
We get a lot of kitten calls too. We do. But we do have instances where I've jumped out like this when I back in my early green days when I was a regular field officer. I will always have like my care packages made, and as soon as I saw it, I'll put it in park, throw my lights on, here and just run over there and give it to them, because at the same time, I would prefer the public, if you do see it, just give our outreach a chance to better that situation, because in complaining could because what we do as outreach, we're trying to build that rapport. When it comes to people, we don't want anyone to look at us as a just as a shelter. We want people to look at us as a resource. We have wonderful dogs, we have wonderful pets, we have wonderful cats, and everything. So basically, we have all of those good things, and we also have resources, and that's one thing we want people to rely on, is having those resources. When you have an issue, you can call us. We'll come up with some type of solution with you. Even if we have to partner with you and create a schedule for something, that's something we will do. So, like I said, if you have that information with that email, just email us like around the location, and you can even tell us around how many animals it is, so we can be able to create a personalized care package for that particular person. Any other questions, comments, or concerns?
No, but
Yes, ma'am.
Mexico, there's this bread, it's called Guajillos, like a French loaf bread, little mini French loaf bread. And what they feed their dogs, a lot of the people take that inside of the bread, make it like a little ball, and they feed the dogs. That's how they feed them out there. And that tastes so good, though. I like the better part. But yeah, that's how they feed their dogs. Like the dogs that go running in a pack by itself. Usually, when at the end of the day, if they didn't sell that bread, they would take out the middle part and feed the little doggies that middle part.
Yeah.
That's crazy, right? How they feed them that.
And we do have. I'm glad you brought that up, because that brings up a point. So we do have. That's one thing that we do have. So with the community cats, especially if you're already partner up with community cats, it is good. I mean, it's okay for you to feed those cats, but when it comes to strays, like dogs or cats that you don't want around as well, because at the end of the day, we do not take intake healthy cats. They're there for a reason. If we take one cat, 2 other cats are going to try to take its spot. So we will spay, neuter it, and then re-release it.
Right.
Right.
I live out there in the country. There's on the other side a mama cat that has kittens all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 2 rescued cats, and they're living their best life. And I just heard that Meow Meow Kitty, that's what they named him, Meow Meow Kitty. Meow Meow Kitty took off and hasn't came back.
He probably and that's a lot that can happen. They might have found somebody else to feed them something better, because they are spoiled. When they get spoiled, they're not coming back. If they're getting some wet tuna, fresh this with this and that, they're not coming back. They're gonna stick with that one person. And so when it comes to feeding them, if you feed them, they're gonna stay. And that's just like dogs. We have a lot of people that calls and complain about, oh, this dog won't leave. Are you feeding it? Yeah, it's never gonna leave. Because every day that dog or that cat remembers, oh, at 7:35, 3207 First Street puts food out for us. And they will come exactly at that 7:35 and get that food. They remember. So if y'all do have issues, especially when it comes to dogs, if you have care, custody, and control of an animal, technically speaking, with ordinance for 72 hours, and you have not gave us a call to pick up the animal is technically yours. Yeah. You decided to gain possession of the animal.
I didn't. They just
right.
Feed them.
No, right.
They like the trampoline. Yeah. They love the trampoline, and they all hang out at the trampoline. Different one, and I'm like, where did that cat come from?
Right.
Yeah, we've tried several times to calling the people to come and do the catch and release, to spay the cat. I don't know. I haven't seen no new kittens, but that's it. That's a good thing. We haven't seen no new kittens lately. Right. Because they cross over to our fence and go out to the main street. Our house is
Yeah.
just like a crossing street for them, I guess.
Crossroad. There we go.
They don't want to hit with the dogs next door or something. I don't know.
So, yeah. I mean, that's just how it is. That's just how it is. They
And I know
they
it's
roam, they
them
come and they
because
go.
at the bottom of the fence, they leave a little, they make their own little doors to go through. They're like hit, I guess they hit with their paws until they break the piece of wood or scoop the wood over, but they cut little pieces off at the bottom.
Mm.
And we
That's
replace them.
That's tough. That's tough. But yeah, I mean that's tough. But if they do end up becoming an issue, you can either just 311 and make sure you let them know, hey, we need community cats over here. And then we'll get that email, we'll get that notification, and we usually, if we're caught up on emails and everything, we tend to run calls very quick. Set out some traps. As soon as we catch them, bring them back. They get spayed neutered probably the next day, and then bringing them back within the next 2 days. So they'll be spayed neutered, so it won't be such an influx of those cats. All right.
Do you guys microchip the stray cats too?
Yes, we do.
Oh, okay.
Every animal that leaves, any animal that comes in our shelter, do not leave not compliant. They have to be compliant.
Gotcha.
They have to be compliant. They have to. So and then it creates a better understanding for how many animals we have out there in community cats or in a certain community. And also nipping their ear, we can see from a distance. No, y'all don't have no cat problem. All y'all cats are nipped.
Yes.
They're fixed.
Yeah.
So
thank you.
no
I
problem.
got a rescue dog. I had him for 7.5 years. Yeah. And I guess whoever had him before would kick him with the boots or something. Because if we wore boots or came in with boots, he would just start barking at the boots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
But
good.
then he knew it was, that when he was a puppy, he would do that. And as he got older, kind of, still did that, but not really with us.
Yeah.
Other people.
That's good that y'all saved that pup. But
Had it for 8 years. I think the neighbor from the back fed him something. Because when I went to take him to the vet, they said it was blood poison.
Again, if you ever go through that, and especially being the owner of that animal, you can easily call 301 or 911, and they'll bring us out, and then they'll investigate just to see if they can have anything to lead an investigation with that to further it. So and that's one good thing to have. If you do have outdoor pets, one good thing to do is not even for other people, but for your and your pets, well-being, is to have a camera. Set up a camera where you can see, the backyard, where you can see, just in case he does get out, you'll know exactly what part of the fence he got out, where he was running towards, or, just for your own good. I mean, for your own, peace. Because I have cameras almost in every one of my rooms in my house. Anytime Chico goes into a room, I get a notification. So if he wants to act crazy, technically he could probably push out one of the windows. He's so big.
Oh,
But
he was like a little chihuahua.
yeah, so
He was a big boy.
yeah, so it's always good to just even set up cameras just for your own
We
peace.
had cameras. He was not an outside dog, but
Right.
We let him out. We let him out to use the bathroom, and then we'd bring him back in. And that previous week, the girl dog from that house, she was out there, and he's fixed because right away I had him fixed to calm him down, which that was scary for me. Sorry. I didn't know that's how they did it, Give him a shot and they take him. My dog does. But yeah, we got him fixed and I told the man, because the man's like, your dog is, trying to get my dog. Your dog, I said, your dog is a girl dog and that's human nature, but my dog is fixed. And the little dog would come to where the gate is at the end and they talk and then, they'd get all excited and then he'd leave back over here to the house part because our backyard is really, really big. And I remember him going the previous weeks over there, to the corner where she was at. They were talking. But he wouldn't get out. He can't cross over to the fence.
Right. And that could be that could be a multitude of things, and that's why I said it's good to have that on that visualization back there because one thing that animal services do not do, the only thing we can go by is either video or if it's a bite, we just go by victim statement, right? Because it's proof that there's an injury. But if it's something that's like that, we don't go by hearsay. We cannot go by hearsay at all. It might,
that's why I did it.
right. No, I understand that, but what I'm saying,
make a big thing out of it. Even though it broke our heart that our dog passed away, you know.
Yeah, and that's why I was just basically saying, like, if anything like that could occur,
I didn't
right? Exactly. So if it could occur, that's why you always prepare for what could happen, right? And all of us, you know, we all have experiences that where we end up setting it up. Yeah, and that's understandable. So, but like, I just like putting that out there that everything has to be kind of proved and everything of that sort when you do call us, because a lot of people, they do get upset. Oh, this is happening. This is happening. Okay, how many times a day is it happening? 3 times this dog is getting loose from this fence. Okay. Can you show us a picture? I don't take pictures. Every time we come there, because a lot of animals, they know who we are. They know our trucks. You know, as soon as they hear our truck or see our truck, they're running back over the fence. They're literally running back over the fence and making sure that they're confined. And by the time we're there, we don't see anything. And then they get upset. And I'm just like, well, if you're in the safety of your home, all you have to do is just pull out that little, take a picture. It's already time stamped as well. And when we get that, then we can, oh, well, we got proof that your dog was loose. You know, the first time you might get a warning. I mean, but 9 times out of 10, no, you get a citation. You know, so it better allow us to fix the issue. If it is a fence issue, we can have an ASO go out there, talk to them, give them a violation or this citation, whatever end up coming of it. Then they can call us outreach program, and we can connect him with an outreach program that or a resource or a partner that does help with fencing to make sure the animal doesn't get out.
And now, when we were doing the storm drain, the stormwater program, there, I did not know, which I think is really cool, that if you don't have dog food at SPCA, if you don't have dog food, they'll give you, you know, a package of dog food for your dog. I didn't know that they did that.
Animal Services does as well. We have a food pantry because SBCA is different from Animal Services. They're up the street from us. We're like it's them, the detention center, then us. I believe, yeah. Then it's us. So we have a food pantry. Again, that is on our website on bdallas90.org. They are, is it once a month? I believe
twice a month.
Twice a month.
So I know it's the last Saturday of the month, and I think it's the second Wednesday of the month.
Right.
And
so
first come, first serve.
Right. And we get a lot of people in. The person that's over that, they have been doing a great job of getting people, you know, dog food and stuff like that. Even us with outreach, we're starting to have influx of that is a need for people, even, you know, just to keep their animal for a couple more days. Their job probably just started, so they're waiting for that first check. So we're just like, you know what, let's go ahead and get you 50 pounds of dog food that can carry you on till you get that next paycheck. You know, because that's what we are. We're a resource. We're a resource, and you know, we are here for our community. So we got to serve you guys. So, and we like doing that. That's my job. It's my job to make people happy and make dogs happier, right? Make animals happier.
I know when you were at an event, y'all gave out some shampoo and treatments for the dog's hair.
Oh yeah, they had to be. I had to be there. That was probably me. That was definitely me.
No, it was the girl.
Oh, it was a girl?
Uh-huh. Girl. It was a young lady.
Oh.
I can't remember her name.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow. That's good. That's good to know. That's good to know.
She was giving it out. She did say it was left over from something else. Like,
oh no, we do. No, it is some good shampoo.
Yeah, yeah. She said it was like y'all had a bunch, and she was like, "I'm trying to get rid of."
Oh, they talking about that boat stop.
Yes. Yes, and I'm happy that they brought it because we do have fillers too, like fillers for stuff like that. So that's pretty good thing. Yeah, that's pretty good thing. But
it's really good shampoo and fragrance. Because I gave it to my son for his dogs, and Mom, I paid a lot for this dog shampoo. Thanks.
Well,
there you go.
Well, we'll be out. We'll be out there. We'll be having more events.
Grandma, two Frenchies. Since that happened to my dog, I've been traumatized. Maybe I don't know, kind of soon.
Yeah, and you know we also have
another doggy and being so devoted.
You don't have to be devoted. See, we do have programs. We have a foster program. I was part of the foster program. Basically,
do that because I don't want to give him back.
No. See, with foster, you might have it for a week, but we also have this. I love this one. We have a doggy vacation. Literally for one day, you can go in there, take a dog, and take it out for one day on the best day, and bring it back. Do it next, and it's so amazing. And oh my gosh, it's just so fun just seeing like one of your favorite dogs. Since we tend to work 10 to 12 hours a week, right? Mm-hmm. So we have to take care of our own dogs, and sometimes we can't have time for that. But when you see a certain dog in the shelter, and that's your favorite, and sometimes it gets looked over, and it goes on that doggy vacation, and it just comes back, so refreshed and so rejuvenated. It feels so good because we have dogs, we have cats that also suffer from kennel craze. They may be in the kennel for a long time and they may just get kind of antsy and everything, and just taking them out and doing that makes that much of a difference.
Maybe.
So you can sign up for that. That's on our website as well. But I think yeah.
And then
she has pets, but I don't.
And then we also offer staycations too for like the holidays too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's for like 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. And I think if you want to adopt, all you gotta do is email dpa.dog.
Just wandering through the whole dog in my house.
Yep.
Yeah, dog league.
And one other thing I want you to get ready for, since the New Year's is coming up, if anybody, we do have the New Year's. It's New Year's, and I think they do it on 4th of July for the fireworks to calm the shelter. Where around, I think, what time do they usually come? Like 10? Yeah. I think 10, 11. I don't know the exact time, but I know it's around 10 or 11 that, volunteers in this year and last year, it was a big influx. We had hundreds of people there, and we had during that they read to the dogs. They sit down, they read to the dogs, they give them treats and everything while the fireworks are going to kind of calm them down. I think New Year's we did 6 adoptions and 2 fosters. July 4th, I believe we did 4 adoptions and like 2 fosters. Right. So even during that time, we're still, trying to get them the better homes. And somebody was just like, you know what?
My son, right? Like today was his day off, and he's at his godfather's house. And I go, "What are you doing over there?" Because I just came to see the dogs and hang out with the dogs. Because he has like a big, some really big dogs that we take to the ranch and everything, and that's what he does on his day off.
Right.
He said, "I miss the dogs,"
Yeah.
So he went to go see them right now. I just called him. I'm gonna tell him about us at least one day. First, let's trade one day. I saw this really cute video on TikTok where the guy, he puts them on a little backpack and he carries them onto the city, and then he buys them a little.
A labradoodle?
No, it was just a little dog. And the little dog was really happy. We picked him up from the shelter, that one day shelter thing. Okay. And he picked him up, he put him on a backpack, and then he takes him to go get shampooed and everything.
Okay.
He buys him a little T-shirt and then takes him to the pet store to get a toy, and then takes them back and leaves them off.
Yeah, that's always good. Really, that's always good especially when they go back, they feel that type of way. But I think we're getting close to time. Yeah, we're getting close to time. But I really appreciate y'all having us and everything of that sort.